There's a hymn about every hour, and I can't remember the tune. Every hour, it's like that's the only words I remember. Every hour, it's beautiful. I have a Brethren hymnal here, and that I'm going to look it up. I want to sing that in my heart today. Every hour, like every. Yeah. Okay, our devotional. We had a great weekend, and one of the thoughts we taught about the heart. 3 things: the heart of man. Number 1, the value of a man's heart. It is amazing. His mind might be a good mind, but what is that if he doesn't have a new heart? He might have possessions, he might have success, he might be recognized by people, but what is that if there's something not right in his heart? How he processes life, what he thinks about, what's valuable to him. In Acts chapter 8, Peter said to, is it verse 21? He said to that sorcerer, your heart is not right in the sight of God. So we have the value of the heart, the value of a person's heart, their heart. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him. The stubbornness of the human heart, and then truth coming back, like correcting me, but I put it away, but it comes back. Truth just continually confronts me. It doesn't stop. Truth doesn't die. It doesn't weaken. Truth doesn't go away. Truth keeps coming back. And people can sweep their troubles under a rug, but it comes back. It just is there. And truth in a pure heart. Is it Acts 15:9? Pure heart, 1 Peter chapter 1. So the 3 things: heart is valuable. Number 2, the heart can go wrong, and it's not right in the sight of God. Number 3, the heart can be right with God. Yes, the heart can be right with God. Wow. Spirit-filled, submitted, recognizing, embracing truth. Remember, Jesus said, don't look for the chief seats in a banquet, but go to the lower place. And if you are asked to go up to sit in a seat of honor, that's fine. But don't have it backwards. But in the heart, man looks for the notoriety, and then he's humiliated or humbled by truth. And because truth just comes back, it just is always there, and it confronts me. There are people that don't deal with their problems in their hearts. They don't deal with their problems in their hearts, but they deal with their problems on the external. And so they solve their problem by manipulation and maneuvering, and they don't solve their problem in their heart. Let God establish me in my heart, and then all the other things will take place. Matthew 6:33. Humble myself before my brothers. Humble myself before God. Humble myself before truth. Face it. It'll always come back. It'll come back. Yeah, the universe is made that way. God is like that. And the truth will find me out. The sin will find me out. Is it Numbers 32:23? And the portion for this morning is Jeremiah 36. It's your own study, but let me break it down for you. If you read Jeremiah 36, Jeremiah prophesies. The scribe writes it, Baruch. He writes it down. It's read to the authorities. They say this has to be read before the king, and you go hide. Jeremiah and Baruch were to hide. Then the messages which were the scriptures from Jeremiah, were read to the king. He was sitting in the winter house by a fire. He took a penknife and sliced the scroll piece by piece and threw it in the fire. And then it was rewritten. It's in chapter 36 and verse 20. The king was sitting in the winter house in the 9th month with a fire burning on the hearth before him. And it happened when Jehudi had read 3 or 4 columns that the king cut it with the scribe's knife, cast into the fire that was on the hearth, until all the scroll was consumed in the fire that was in the hearth. Yet they were not afraid, nor did they tear their garments, the king nor any of his servants who heard these words. They were not humbled. They heard the prophecies that were essentially against them. They just burned it up. That's one way of handling things. That's one way of handling truth. Burn it up. Get rid of it. But it comes back. So it says here, now after the king had burned the scroll, verse 27, with the words which Baruch had written at the instruction of Jeremiah, the word of the Lord came to Jeremiah, saying, take another scroll, write on it all the former words that were in the first scroll, which Jehoiakim the king of Judah has burned. And you shall say to Jehoiakim king of Judah, thus says the Lord, you have burned this scroll, saying, why have you written in it that the king of Babylon will certainly come and destroy this land and cause man and beast to cease? Therefore, thus says the Lord concerning Jehoiakim, king of Judah, he shall have no one to sit on the throne of David. Verse 32, then Jeremiah took another scroll, gave it to Baruch the scribe, the son of Neriah, who wrote on it all the instruction of Jeremiah, all the words of the book which Jehoiakim king had burned in the fire. And besides, there were added to them many similar words. So it came back. It came back. That's the thought for today. Why don't I agree with it, humble myself before it, submit myself to it, embrace it, obey it, honor it, and be humble before God? Why would I burn it, destroy it? If I do, out of the ashes, it'll come back. Not literally, but you write it again, write it again, write it again. Heaven and earth will pass away, but not this book. God will keep, God is there, and we face reality. I might not like it, but I have a new heart, and he's written in my heart the important things. So that's a good lesson for us today. May God bless you in your life, in your love, your ministry today, and your heart being right before God. What an honor that is. Praise God. God bless you.